Welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I am your host, Namath Pitts, and we have got a great Thursday show in store for you. We are going to talk about Anniston's Jaden J. Money Lewis, who was selected to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game. We're going to talk about the Anniston Bulldogs as they are off this week, but they're on the verge of winning 600 games as a program. So could we see the Anniston Bulldogs in 2 weeks win their 600th game in the school program history? We're also going to talk all the volleyball games for tonight in East Alabama. We're going to talk a local football game taking place tonight on Thursday night right outside of our area. And we're going to talk about Coach Michael Short, who's a retired coach of Cleburne County High School, who will be recognized before their game this Friday night. So we've got a great show. We're also going to talk with the president of the East Alabama Wrestling Officials. That's Shannon King. And we're going to talk about the official shortage in the state of Alabama and the need for officials. But to start the show, I want to remind you, if you haven't already, like our East Alabama page. The Locker Room is every afternoon at 5 p.m., and the love and support that we have received over the past 2 weeks has been absolutely amazing. I was wondering what our averages were going to be, and you guys are going to make it hard for me to move up moving forward because of the love you've given us the first 2 weeks. But no, thank you so much for liking the East Alabama page. And don't forget that every night at 6:30 p.m. on EAN News, there's a local newscast. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards bring you local news. John Holder brings you the weather on your street and all the local weather. And then, of course, I bring you the sports right here locally in East Alabama. That's every night. EAN News is separate from East Alabama Now. So if you haven't already, go like EAN News and like East Alabama Now. Don't forget that you can also send us highlights, stats, scores, anything you might have to our email, eansports23@gmail.com. Again, you can send us anything at eansports23@gmail.com, or you can just message our East Alabama Now page right here, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. But it's a big accomplishment for a local football player. Anniston Bulldogs Jaden J. Money Lewis. Jaden J. Money Lewis, as you can see right there in the picture on the screen, was selected for the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game. Now, this is a game that's played between, obviously, the state of Alabama's best and the state of Mississippi's best. And Jaden J. Money Lewis is currently committed to play football for the University of Auburn. And Auburn will be well represented in the 37th Annual Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Classic. And one of the reasons for that, one of the 5 Auburn commits that was selected, was Anniston defensive back Jaden Lewis. He was selected to the Alabama roster. That was announced this past weekend. And the AHSA CDA All-Star Selection Committee selected players earlier this week based on nominations from coaches. This year's game is scheduled to take place on Saturday, December 16th on the campus of Southern Miss, Mississippi. So Jaden J. Money Lewis was selected, and let me share with you guys some of the stats of this guy. Because as we all know, he had a big game earlier this year. It was the first game of the season. His coach left. He went to Mae Jemison. And a lot of people wondered if Jaden Lewis would follow his coach and do the same thing. But he didn't. He chose to stay with Coach Rico Jackson in his first season, and he decided to give it a shot, to stay true to his alma mater, which was the Anniston Bulldogs. In their first game of the season against the Welborn Panthers, they trailed. Things looked like they were not going the way Anniston expected in the first week of the season. But then it was Jaden Lewis who stepped up. And Jaden Lewis scored 4 touchdowns against Welborn. That's right, 4 touchdowns. He had over 300 yards. He had a pick 6. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown. He had a punt return for a touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown. He had a 2-point conversion. Ultimately, he had 302 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, he had a kickoff return for a touchdown. He had a punt return for a touchdown. He had 1 interception. That interception was returned for a touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 36 yards, 1 touchdown, 2-point conversion. Again, Jaden Lewis is as good as it gets. He's one of the best, period, in the state of Alabama. He's currently committed to play football at the University of Auburn. Congratulations to Jaden J. Money, that's his nickname, Lewis, for being selected by the AHSA CDA to play in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game, which again will take place on December 16th at Southern Miss University in Mississippi. Good luck to all of the state of Alabama participants as we wish them luck, but especially Jaden Lewis, a local product. Speaking of the Anniston Bulldogs, Jaden Lewis's alma mater, they are on the verge of winning 600 games as a program. Not many times does a program win 600 games. It's a lot of games. We just saw Walter Wellborn win their 400th game recently. So you got to think Anniston, almost 200 more games than that. We've got some highlights of the Anniston Bulldogs from earlier this season when they were playing the Mumford Lions. But I look at this Anniston Bulldogs team, which is now under the head coach of Rico Jackson. And this is a team that is always going to be athletic. They're going to be fast, mobile. They're going to be shifty, a lot of agility, and they're going to make guys miss. But you look at the Anniston Bulldogs team. Again, they're off this week. Their next game will be against Talladega in Cleburne County. That's their final 2 games of the season, so they could close the season with their 600th win in program history. They've won 2 state championships back in 1989 and 1994. They've been region champions quite a lot. Overall, as a team, they currently sit at, 599 wins, so they're 1 win away from 600. They could get that with a win over Talladega. I forget about the forfeit over White Plains. But ultimately, they have 599 wins in school history, 403 losses, 27 ties. They have a winning percentage of 60% school history-wise, 13 region titles, 167 all-state players. They have 12 players that made it to the NFL. They have 4 weeks where they've been ranked number 1. Their home record is 380 wins and 175 losses. They're 213 and 224 on the road, so they actually have a losing road record. But if you look at the numbers of the Anniston Bulldog history, 104 seasons. Of 104 seasons, 76 of them have been winning seasons. Only 28 of them have been losing seasons. They have 15 wins. That's the most in school history back in 1989. They have 8 10-win seasons, 9 losses in a season back in 2006. 494 points is the most points scored in a season, and that happened last year in 2022. Most points allowed in a game was 58 back in 1996. Their largest margin of victory was 89 points. That's right, the Anniston Bulldogs won by 89 points back in 1934. October 19th, 1934. They have shut out teams 219 times. Their longest win streak was 19, and that was from 1989 to 1990. Overall, in the playoffs, the Bulldogs are 34 and 28. They made it to the finals twice, where they're 2-0. They made it to the semifinals, where they're 2-4. They made it to the quarterfinals, where they're 4-5. The second round, Anniston's 11-5. In the first round, they're 15 and 14. The Anniston Bulldogs are on the verge of winning 600 career games history-wise, and Coach Rico Jackson is the coach looking to do that. And if you look at the coaches that Anniston's had in history, Rico Jackson this year, he's had a successful season. Rico White went 35 and 23. He was there from 2018 to 2022. Everyone knows Coach Eddie Bullock, who was there from 2010 to 2017. You got Alex Wilson from 2007 to 2009, Mike Justice 2005 2006, Chris Mahan 2004. But people always look at the Anniston Bulldogs program, and you look at the talented coaches that have walked the sidelines for the Anniston Bulldogs. Hey, when we come back after the break, we're going to talk the schedules for the local volleyball tonight. We're going to talk football game that's taking place on Thursday night. We're going to talk about Coach Michael Short, who's going to be honored. We'll tell you more when we come back. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, or luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welburn Cabinet, and they will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond, and now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience, so go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431 right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room. Welcome back into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm your host, Namath Pitts, and we told you before the break that we were going to talk about all the local games. And so let's start with volleyball, because Thursday night means more volleyball in East Alabama. So let's go ahead and look at our schedule for volleyball for tonight. Alexandria, the Valley Cubs, are playing at Southside Gadsden. The Valley Cubs and the Panthers. Southside, obviously, having a good year. Alexandria coming off what was a little bit of a surprise, losing in the Calhoun County Volleyball Tournament to Pleasant Valley. Coach Dana Bryant's team would go on to win the Calhoun County Volleyball Tournament, but the Alexandria Valley Cubs go on the road to Southside Gadsden to face the Panthers. There's a quad at Asheville tonight, which features really no team in our local Calhoun, Cleburne County area, but the Glencoe Yellow Jackets and Etowah County and the Moody Blue Devils and West End Patriots are going to be on the road at Asheville. So those are some schools kind of close here that we'll give them a little bit of a shout out. But the Asheville Bulldogs are hosting a quad tonight that features Glencoe, Moody, and West End. Jacksonville Christian Thunder. The Lady Thunder are hosting a tri-match tonight with Jefferson Christian and GSD. Now, I'm assuming that's Georgia School for the Deaf, but I could be wrong. But I'm assuming that the Georgia School for the Deaf and Jefferson Christian out of Birmingham will be playing at Jacksonville Christian tonight. The Thunder, again, that's a tri-match in Jacksonville. Jacksonville Christian Thunder hosting Jefferson Christian and Georgia School for the Deaf. How about the reigning, defending, undisputed Calhoun County Volleyball champions, the Pleasant Valley Raiders? Coach Dana Bryant's team is hosting a tri-match tonight, and it says White Plains Southside. I got that wrong. Alexandria, I believe, is at Southside, so it's got to be wrong. That's not on the graphics. That's on me, but Pleasant Valley is hosting a tri-match tonight. White Plains will be there. I'm unsure on Southside right there, so I apologize for that mistake, guys. That was 100% on me. But Pleasant Valley is back in action tonight. No cross-country action tonight, but the White Plains Fall Classic is this Saturday, so the White Plains Wildcats cross-country team is preparing for that. But there is football, as always, because we're right around the corner from Friday night. But there's a local Thursday night game that features two teams that aren't necessarily in Calhoun, Cleburne County, but they are local East Alabama teams playing in local regions with local teams. The Hanley Tigers, Coach Larry Strain's team, obviously the region champions. They go on the road to face a winless Talladega team. Thursday night prep football action out at Talladega. And that's a sharp dress logo. That's two great logos right there. That's a great graphic. And you know who made that graphic? Ashley Gober. Let me give you the shout out to the real ones that make this happen every single day. It's Ashley and Nathan Gober. They do things behind the scenes. They do the production, the graphics. So I cannot take any credit for anything like that. Those are the masterminds behind it. If you're looking for two people that are as good as it gets, it is those two. They are the ones behind EAN News in East Alabama Now. Hanley Tigers on the road at Talladega facing the Tigers. It's a battle of Tigers. only one Tiger will remain at the end of the night. Speaking of Tigers, because why not? Let's keep the trend going. Let's talk Cleburne County Tigers. The Cleburne County Tigers are having a special night tomorrow. And we're actually going to meet up with Coach Michael Short at Ellie Bell Field tomorrow, just a preview, as we talk football from Cleburne County tomorrow as they gear up for a big game against White Plains. But that's not the only big thing happening tomorrow in Cleburne County. They will be bringing back their former coach, Michael Short. They will be honoring him before the game. So Coach Michael Short will be honored tomorrow, Friday, October 13th. It's a special recognition of the former Cleburne County High School head football coach and athletic director, Coach Michael Short. It'll be at Ellie Bell Field. Coach Michael Short is a 1980 graduate of Cleburne County High School. He received his degree from Jacksonville State University. Coach Short accepted the head football coaching job at Cleburne County High School in Heflin, Alabama in 1998 to begin his coaching career. Over the next 21 years, his teams would go 144 wins and 95 losses and 95 and 42 in region play. 14 of his teams qualified for the playoffs. The Tigers finished the 2000 and 2003 seasons undefeated in the regular season. The 2001 squad reached the Super 6 championship game before losing to Class 4A power UMS Wright 28-12 at Legion Field in Birmingham. From 2000 to 2002, Coach Michael Short's team went 37-4, which is the best run in school history. Coach Michael Short, 1998 to 2018, he had quite the career legacy. 21 years, again, 144 wins, 95 losses. Scored 6,116 points as a head coach offensively. Gave up 4,936 defensively. Went 17-14 in the playoffs as a coach. They scored 780 points in the playoffs. 95 and 42 in region play, and again scored 3,755 points in region play. Coach Michael Short, 1980 graduate of Cleburne County High School, 21 years as the head coach, will be honored with a special recognition at Cleburne County High School at L.E. Bell Field. Congratulations to Coach Michael Short on his return to Cleburne County, and we will have more on that story tomorrow on EAN News Local Newscast. We'll talk with Coach Michael Short about what it's like to be back there to be recognized. And then tomorrow on the Locker Room, we're also going to talk with Coach Michael Short from Ellie Bell Field as we cover and break down all the local Calhoun-Cleburne County football games. But Coach Michael Short, congratulations. Much, much deserved. Hey, when we come back from the break, we are going to talk the shortage of officials, the need for officials, and the sport of wrestling. We're going to talk with Shannon King, the president of East Alabama Wrestling Officials. When we come back, you're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
Welcome to Room by Room Home Furnishings, a locally owned and operated furniture store located in Oxford, Alabama. We've been serving Northeast Alabama and the surrounding area since 2007. We offer stylish and affordable new arrivals and all the top trends to help you get a cozy and homey atmosphere with hand-picked home furnishings and decor to fit anybody's style and budget with knowledge, personality, and good vibes. Let Room by Room in Oxford, Alabama help you score amazing deals and turn your house into a home.
Wait! This isn't a game. It's your basement. It's filling with water. And even worse, it's 2 a.m. Who are you gonna call? Time's up. We'll come out 24/7, 365, any day, any time to put out any fires. Well, not actual fire, but there's a better number for that. But when it comes to plumbing, call One Tom Plumbing.
Welcome back into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm your host, Namath Pitts, and we are talking with Shannon King now, who is the president of the East Alabama Wrestling Officials. Shannon, thank you so much for taking time to be with me this afternoon.
Thank you, Namath. It's great to be here.
Shannon, a lot of people know that there's a shortage when it comes to officials in the state of Alabama and across the country right now. It's not just a wrestling problem. It's a problem in every sport. So just talk a little bit about some of the reasons why there's a shortage of officials right now and talk about the need for officials specifically in our area when it comes to wrestling.
Well, probably the main thing with officials nowadays is that there's a lot of scrutiny going on to the officials that is unwarranted. So a lot of kids that are just now coming out starting to officiate, when they get themselves in a situation, a lot of coaches and parents, they don't understand that this is a new guy that's just now starting out. And of course they're going to make mistakes and they're going to have problems. And they feel like that every official that's out there should be a veteran official. But you cannot get these young officials out there and let them be downgraded by parents and coaches. And I see that's a lot as to why we can't keep officials. We'll get a few young ones in, and then we'll get a coach or a parent that takes it a little too far. And of course, they just don't want to do it after that. And it's a huge problem with the parents and sometimes the coaches. But we can handle the coaches. We can let them know that, hey, these are young officials and they're young and they're going to make mistakes, but parents don't see it that way. And that's what we found out over the last probably 10 years of officiating, is that it's more the parents and the coaches that run off good officials. And it's just getting to be worse and worse over time. And we've, in our association, I imagine other associations, we try our best to keep our young officials protected a little bit and let them know that, hey, there's young officials, and we try our best to keep coaches and parents from discouraging them from to continue on doing it. But that's probably, I see, is the biggest reason why most young officials don't stay with it nowadays.
Yeah, Shannon, I've been a wrestling official for this. Last year was my second year. I did it for you guys. My first year was over in the state of Georgia last year. And obviously, the reason I come out is my passion for wrestling. I wrestled since I was a kid. I've been around the sport. I think it's arguably the greatest sport ever created because it's you and one other person. There's no excuses. And I think that's what my dad instilled in me while I wrestled growing up. But a lot of people, let's just be honest, I hate to say it, but most people only come out for officiating because of what it pays. And I'm not going to ask you to get into the numbers necessarily of what wrestling officials make, but wrestling is as high of a paying sport as any when it comes to officiating. So talk about just kind of, the benefit people get financially from becoming an official.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, Nathan. We have, in the last couple of years, the state of Alabama has raised our dues up tremendously, which has made it really worthy of officiating. I've been doing it for some odd 27 years, and the last couple of years they've raised the pay up tremendously. We're in line with Georgia and some of the bigger states that's got larger wrestling groups. So we're now in line with them on the pay. So especially a kid out of college or in college or a young person starting out, you can make $3,000 or $4,000 during the wrestling season if you want to work at it, which is good money for a college kid and whatever. But once you get in it and you realize that you love it, and it's not about the money anymore, because I would do it for free. I've done it for free for schools that may need a opportunity or a little helping hand. We work with them and try to help out. We don't like to take advantage of nobody on pricing, but yes, if you're a young guy coming out and you want to make some great Christmas money, I used to call it. That's what I used it for when I was just starting out. That bought Christmas every year. So I refereed every year to pay for Christmas.
And I can attest to that, guys. I remember last year, I'm not going to get into the finances, but I went and did a Friday quad and then did a Saturday tournament, had an official drop on us, and I made $1,000 that weekend, which is pretty insane. Yes, so there's definitely money there. But Shannon, let's talk about the area. What all schools does East Alabama officials cover? So just talk a little bit about the area wide on where people could expect to maybe get sent on a different night during the week.
Well, we try to keep all of our officials very local to where they're close to where they live at. We cover all the way from Fort Payne all the way down to ASB, and we cover all the way out to Ranburne. And so we have a very large area. We got Southside, Gadsden, We go up to Cherokee County, and we have a very large area, but we try to keep our officials close to where they live so that travel's not that bad. We got a great area for wrestling. It's probably one of the best in the state. It's been that way for years. We usually have at least one or two teams competing for a state championship in our area every year. So it's a great sport. It's like I always said, it's the hardest sport, but it's also the most rewarding sport because it's everything you put into it is what you get out of it. It's an individual sport, and it's one of the best. I love it. I've raised it. I actually named my son so that when he wrestled, that he would be Matt King. So it's in my blood. I got son and daughter that both officiate, and very proud daddy moment. Last year, I think me and my daughter and son were the first daughter-son trio that ever refereed a state championship match. But our area covers all the Calhoun County schools and Etowah County, and like I said, Fort Payne, and then we got ASB and a couple other schools around the area.
Shannon, you've been doing it for a while. Like you said, you got to do something with your son and daughter, which was a pretty cool moment for you, I know, as a dad. But obviously, if someone's listening or watching us and going, hey, I kind of want, maybe they've wrestled before and they've never really thought about officiating, but they want to get involved, or maybe they don't even know much about the sport, but they still want to get involved. I never played baseball, but I'm a baseball official. So, if you got a passion to be out there, you got a passion to be out there. But if someone wants to kind of get involved, how can they best, do that? How can they get in touch with you and get involved?
Well, you can look my Facebook account up, Shannon King, and I posted something on there for people that are interested in it. You can also go on the Alabama High School Athletic Association website, go under officiating, and there's a tab in there that you can register for or pre-register for to be an official, and then they will get the information to the correct area where they're going to officiate. But my phone number's on there, and we're looking for as many officials as we can find, because us older guys, we like to let them young guys do as much as they want to do.
Now, don't let Shannon lie to y'all. He likes to be out there every night of the week. No, I'm just kidding. But Shannon, when someone comes to you and goes, hey, I want to be official, what's the steps after that to make sure they get certified as a statewide official?
Well, when you come and tell us you want to officiate, we will get with you, and we will get you in a district camp or wherever, whatever time frame it is. But usually it's we'll get together, we'll have a couple meetings, we'll talk about the upcoming test. We'll give out rule books. We'll help you study for it. We'll help you pass the test to make sure that you're get through it. Because the first couple of years is pretty tough. We also, in our association, which is a little bit different than others, we buy our new officials that's coming in. We'll buy their initial uniform, their whistles, and their armbands and their flip discs, so that we try to keep less money out of their pocket starting out, because we know how it is when you're a younger kid trying to start out. You just don't have a couple $100 to spend on a referee uniform. So we try, our association helps pay for that, so that it gives you a little bit better chance of succeeding.
Absolutely. Well, Shannon, if anybody's watching and you want to get in contact, Shannon King's the guy to get in contact with. You can find him on Facebook at Shannon King, or go to the AHSA website, find the officiating tab, and you can get more contact info for him. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate all the hard work you're doing.
Namath, great job. I appreciate everything you're doing, and you're doing a terrific job with this. I love this format you got going on, and it's gonna go well for you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Shannon King, East Alabama officials. For wrestling, they need officials. And I can tell you, I'm a wrestling official myself. There is a need there for people to join us and be a part of it, and so we appreciate him joining us. But hey, that's going to do it for today on the Locker Room, and when we come back tomorrow, we're going to be live from L.E. Bell Field at Cleburne County. We're going to talk East Alabama football with Coach Michael Short. Join us tomorrow on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.